Go ahead and get yourself into a comfortable seat, whatever that means to you. You can sit on your bum, cross your legs in front of you. Make sure you're not stacking your legs. You have one in front of the other. But take an invisible string from the top of your head, pull it nice and tall, opening up the back of the neck, opening up each individual vertebrae. So you can sigh those shoulders down a little bit. Do a quick body scan to see if there's any place where you feel a little bit more sore or a little bit more stuck. You send your breath to that area. Go ahead and check in with your breath. No need to change or judge it, just see what it's doing. Wherever that breath is, can you transition it to a low belly breath? Expanding that belly and your diaphragm on your inhale. Each of your inhales, can you imagine a white light entering in through your nostrils, moving down the back of your throat, filling up the entirety of your lungs all the way to the bottom. And when you exhale, can you remove all that negativity, all that soreness, discomfort, anything that's no longer serving you, just out with each exhale. Inhale that white light to expand beyond your lungs. And continue to remove anything that is no longer serving your spirit. Do a few rounds of Nadi Shodhana breath. Take whichever hand you want. Place two peace fingers on your third eye between your eyebrows. Your pinky and your ring finger on one side of your nose and your thumb on the other. Start by closing off the right nostril and inhaling through the left. Closing off that left nostril, exhaling through the right. Inhaling through the right nostril. Closing that off, releasing the left, and exhaling out. Inhaling here. Switching nostrils to exhale. Inhaling here. You can continue at your own breath and your own pace, sealing off each nostril after your inhale and exhaling on the opposite side. On your next exhale through your right nostril, you can release your hands, let it go. Breathe through your nostrils and see if it feels different this time. See if your nostrils are more clear or more clogged. So it feels easier or more difficult to breathe without sealing off an nostril. You're ready to gently open your eyes or raise your gaze. We'll start by expanding the arms out to the sides, reaching the fingertips in all directions. From here, we'll go ahead and come into our biceps and then extend those arms over top. Check in with the shoulders, see if you can slide those shoulders down the back. Reaching those fingertips in all directions. You can take that left hand down to the side and reach the right arm over top. Make sure your shoulder is not reaching to your ear here. See if you can expand all those intercostal muscles between each of the ribs. From here, we'll bring that shoulder to the opposite knee. On your next exhale, you can bring your shoulder down. Inhaling back up. Exhaling, holding forward. Inhaling back up. One more like that. Exhaling. And coming back up. Nice quick breath here, reaching that arm over top again. On your exhale, release all your tension. Inhale that arm up, release the shoulders down. We'll exhale down to the other side, reaching that opposite arm over top. Feeling any space in those intercostal muscles. Pressing the sit bones into the ground. From here, we'll bring that shoulder down to the knee. Forward. Inhaling back up. Folding forward. And back up. One more like that, folding that shoulder. And inhaling back up. Reaching again here. Reaching that shoulder down the back. Nice big exhale here. And on your inhale, we'll reach the arm back up. Stretching up nice and tall in the sky. Here we'll gently fold forward. Your arms can release down. Start with a nice flat back. Nice straight long spine. See how far you can get that flat back down. No need to press it or go very far. You can practice your mini micro movements in your hips by trying to tilt or tuck your tailbone here, like a micromillimeter. And when you're ready, you can round in your back, come all the way forward, whatever's most comfortable for you. You find space in your sit bones here. You find space in your outer thigh muscle. On your next inhale, let's walk the fingertips back. Place the hands behind you with your thumbs pointing forward and shine that chest towards the ceiling. Inhaling in. Nice big exhale. Take those arms out to the sides again. This time pressing the walls away from you with your hands outstretched. Fingertips can be extended, bent, or your hands can be in fists, whatever's more comfortable for you. And we'll gently rotate the muscles in the muscles. We'll gently rotate the shoulder in the spine. From here, we'll make biceps with your arms. Your fists could be, your hands could be extended or fists if you'd like. We'll drop one arm down. Make sure your elbows are coming out from your shoulders in nice straight lines. Make your nice strong biceps here. Then flip to the other side. Nice strong bicep. Flip to the other side. Continue this movement at your own pace, what you like. Just making nice strong biceps with one arm at a time. And when you're ready, you can release your arms down, give them a little shake back and forth. We'll extend them out to the sides again. Bring the arms. That was crazy. Bring your arms in for your biceps, stretch them out to the sky. Imagine you're holding that beach ball in your hands, pressure against it. All 5 fingers stretching in either direction. We're gonna leave the sit bones where they are. Try to stretch midsection to one side. I said stretch, I meant twist. Release any tension you may have in your back or your sit bones, your back of your neck, or your jaw here. We'll exhale to the center. Nice big inhale here. And then exhale to the other side, holding that beach ball still, feeling that tension in between the hands. Nice big inhale here and then exhale. Release any tension in your legs, your glutes, your back of your neck. And your exhale will come back to the center. Release your hands down. We'll extend the legs out front. You can give your knees a little shake back and forth. We'll go ahead and we'll hug one leg into the chest, nice and tight. Place your foot on the outside of the opposite leg. See if you can feel any extra space here between your sit bone and your knee. Maybe you have tension in your outer hip that you can release here. Just take a second, see if you can push that sit bone down into the ground, make it nice and locked in. As we lift the opposite arm into the air, hook the elbow and twist to the back. Inhaling for a nice long spine here. Exhaling to twist to the back of the room. Again, see if you can find that space in your outer hips, in your sit bones. On your next inhale, we'll come back to the center, do a nice little counter twist to the opposite side. We'll switch the crossing of the legs. Bringing that knee in nice and close to the chest, hugging it in here. Again, taking a moment to really press your sit bones into the mat. See if you can find any space between the sit bone and the knee. Maybe you have tension in the outer hips that can be released. And then from here, we'll bring that opposite arm into the air. Hook that elbow, exhale, and twist to the back of the room. Twisting from the midsections, seeing if we can plant that sit bone. Inhaling nice and long spine, exhaling to twist to the back. On your next inhale, you can make a nice little counter twist to the opposite side. Back to center. And give your legs a little shake out. From here, we'll bring the knees underneath you. You can place your sit bones on your heels here. You can have your feet flat on the ground. Take a nice deep breath here. Exhale. Walk your fingertips forward. We'll tuck the toes under. You can help them if you need to. Give yourself a nice little toe stretch here. You can walk your fingertips back. Bring them up the legs if that's available to you. Take a nice deep inhale here. And a nice deep exhale. We'll bring the fingertips forward. Wherever is comfortable for you. We're going to imagine there's a fishing line coming from our belly button. It's going to pull us forward. If you'd like to get into this stretch really intensely, you can always do this against a wall, pulling your body towards the wall as close as possible. From here, release any tension you may have in your glutes, in your hips. Release the shoulders down the back. On your next inhale, we're going to bring the arms up into the air. And on your exhale, we're gonna windmill one arm back and find your heel behind you. Reaching the opposite arm into the air. You're gonna pull that belly button forward again in space. Feel the stretch in the front of your thighs. Release any tension in your glutes. On your next exhale, we'll windmill the opposite arm back. And pull that belly button forward. Breathing here. Releasing any tension in your glutes. Pulling that belly button forward, feeling the stretch in the front of your thighs. On your next exhale, you can windmill that arm forward. We'll inhale the opposite arm forward as well. You can come down to all fours. We'll come into your tabletop pose. Release those toes down to glue the tops of the feet onto the ground. We'll come into a neutral spine. From here, we'll start with just tilting and tucking the tailbone under. Warm up the back of the spine here. You can work with your movements. Maybe you want to make micro movements that are just little millimeter motions. Maybe you want to make full motions, really open up the spine here. Maybe you want to shake back and forth and twist from side to side. And when you're ready, we'll go ahead and drop our udders down, shine that chest forward, point the hip bones to the ceiling, and come into cow pose. Try to strive to bring that chest through your shoulders. Take a few breaths in cow pose. Tops of the feet glued to the mat. When you're ready, you can go ahead and pull that belly button to the back of the spine, arching in the back. Maybe tucking those toes under and coming up to your fingertips if that's available to you. Release any tension you have in your glutes here. You can nod your head yes, you can shake your head no, you can move your head I don't know. Release any tension in your jaw. Just take a few breaths in cat. Striving to pull that belly button towards the spine in a way that isn't physically possible. Pull the belly button past the spine. All while releasing the tension in the glutes. Really feeling that arch in your shoulder girdle. Push that mat away from you and push yourself out of that shoulder girdle. On your next inhale, you come back to cow pose, placing the tops of the feet onto the mat, stretching that chest forward, dropping the udders. Exhaling the cat, option to come up on those fingertips and tuck the toes under. Inhaling for cow. Exhaling for cat. Go ahead and continue to do this motion at your own pace. And at your own rhythm. Just linking your breath to your movement. You can introduce SMC curves in your spine if you'd like. Come up to a little baby chaturanga or down to a child's pose. Just waking up the spine here. When you're ready, we'll step back and come into a downward facing dog. And pedal out through the feet here. Pulling the heels down to the mat. If you find a spot that's maybe a little bit more stuck, you can spend a moment there. Then when you're ready, we'll inhale those heels up into space and exhale to pull them down to the mat. Bring those sit bones into the air. Release any tension in your sit bones, any tension in your glutes, any tension in the back of your neck. You can nod your head yes, you can shake your head no, you can move your head I don't know. Your next inhale will gently roll forward into plank pose, pressing that ground away from you, really pushing out of that shoulder girdle, releasing any tension. Okay. On your next exhale, we'll press back into downward facing dog. Again, check in with your sit bones, check in with the back of your neck. Nod your head yes, you shake your head no. Move your head I don't know. When you're ready, you can step to the front of the mat. So you're gonna forward fold at the front of the mat. This forward fold can be as gentle or as deep as you'd like. Your knees can be as straight or as bent as you'd like. And just release any tension and feel it all flow into the ground. Starting with the top of the head, releasing down. And the bottoms of the feet melting into the ground. Breathing here. Check in with your knees, make sure they're not knocking together. They're nice and evenly distanced, equal to. On your next inhale, we're going to place hands on the shins for a nice long flat back. Again, in your flat back, see if you can play with micro movements here of your tailbone, tilting and tucking it. Nice little small movements. Make them as big or as small as you'd like. On your next exhale, we're going to fold forward again. Give your hips a little shake out here if that's available to you. And fold a little bit more deeply this time. Maybe your legs are a little bit more straight. On your next inhale, you can gently roll up to stand, placing each vertebrae on top of the creeps. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. You can step your feet out a little bit wider than your hips, maybe the width of the mat. And you can just you can bring your hands to your hips if you'd like. You can just kind of go from side to side. Let's say, really pulling into the side of your hip as you go. We're going to keep the knees straight, not bending them. If you're like me and your head were extended, you can have a nice soft bend in the knee. But we're just going to go from side to side here, feeling that stretch in the outer hips. Seeing if you can really lean into one side and then the other. And when you're ready, we can come back to stillness. And then we're going to see if we can continue to keep those knees straight or with a slight bend. And then this time we're going to come forward and then back. Really tilting and tucking as you go. Paying attention to those sit bones, making sure you're not holding any tension there. And then when you've had enough of that, we are going to give our hips a little shake out. Release any tension in the knees. Then we're going to make diamond shapes by taking your hips to the right and forward, left, and back. Each time you go forward and back, tilt or tuck your tailbone respectively. And then when you've had enough of that, you go ahead and go in the opposite direction. Oh, thank you, Joanne. We know Monty's here. Okay. We get it. Okay. And then when you've done a bunch of diamonds, we'll go ahead and take that motion. Go ahead and smooth it out. Your knees can be involved as much as you'd like here. They can be stationary. You can make small movements. They can be slightly moving. This can be a little bigger, or they can be dramatically moving, and your movements can be insane. And when you've done that with one side, go ahead and twist in the opposite direction. Again, play with the scale of your circles, the scale of your movements. You can play with the knees and incorporate them into the movement. And if you find a spot that's a little bit more sore stuff, you can always stay. And when you're ready and you're done playing with scale, we'll come back to the center, nice and neutral. And we'll go through those movements again, but this time, just make them nice and small. Really concentrate them in the hips. And see if instead of focusing on those outer hip muscles, now we're focusing on those inner organs, the lower abdomen. Waking them up, focusing on them. Then you can go the opposite direction. Waking up those organs. Feeling that movement. Really localized to one spot. And then when you've had enough of that, let it go. Release your hips here. Release your neck. And we'll lift the arms into the air for Urdhva Hastasana. Arms above your head in Urdhva Hastasana. Imagine you're holding on to that beach ball. Feeling the tension on either side of the arm. And on your next exhale, we're just going to bend to one side, holding that ball in your hands, feeling the stretch between each of those ribs and those intercostal muscles, feeling that knee pressing into the ground so you can feel space in your hips. And we'll inhale back to the center. Exhale to the opposite side, pressing that knee into the ground, feeling the space in the intercostal muscles, feeling the space in your body between your hips and your ribs. Inhaling back to center. Exhale your shoulders down the back. Inhale here, and on your next exhale, we're going to twist to one side, keeping the hips pointed towards the front of the room. Breathing here, bringing out the midsection like a dish rag. Exhaling back to center. Nice big inhale here. Exhale to twist to the opposite side. Hips pointing towards the front of the room. Midsection ringing out like a dish rag. Exhaling back to center. From here, we'll bring that beach ball back in space like we're going to throw it really far. A big overhead motion. You can put a bend in your elbow here, but no need to bend all the way back and touch your back. Stretching the shoulders. On your next exhale, you can fold forward, pressing that beach ball into the ground. So you're in a forward fold at the front of the mat. This forward fold can be a little bit deeper than you don't think it was. I appreciate it. Getting into your forward fold here nice and deeply. You can cross your elbows and grab opposite elbows if you like. You can interlace your hands behind your back if that feels nice to you. You can also take your peace fingers around your big toes for a yogi toe lock. Bend your elbows and fold forward. More. On your next inhale, bring the hands to the shins for a nice long flat back. Exhale to fold forward, plant your hands, and we'll step back to plank pose. Pushing the ground away from you in plank, pushing out of that shoulder girdle. We're gonna go through your vinyasa or lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat, inhaling for a low cobra or upward facing dog, and exhaling back to the down dog. Breathing in downward facing dog. You release your heels down to the mat. You release any tension you have in your sit bone. Nod your head yes, you can shake your head no, your head I don't know. On your next exhale, you can come or step forwards or a forward fold at the front of the. On your next inhale, you can place your hands on your shins for a nice flat back. Exhale to fold forward. And inhale to gently roll up to stand. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Release your arms down to either side. Your nice big inhale here. Nice big exhale. You feel all four corners of the feet pressing into the ground. You feel a lift in your arches so your knees aren't knocking in. You release your shoulder blades down your back. As we inhale the arms into the air for Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhaling, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhaling, forward fold, plant your hands, step back to a plank. Run through your vinyasa or lower your knees. Chest and chin to the mat, inhaling for a low cobra or upward facing dog, and pressing back to the down dog. Breathing in downward facing dog, lift those heels into the air. Exhale, drag them back down to the nice deep inhale here. And on your exhale, you can hop or step forward to a forward fold at the front of the mat. On your next inhale, place hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale to fold forward, and inhale to gently roll up to stand. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Again, can you feel all four corners of the feet pressing into the ground? Can you lift up in the arches so the knees aren't knocking in together? From here, we'll inhale the arms up into the air, melt those shoulder blades down the back. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands, step back to plank pose, pressing the ground away from you, pushing out of that shoulder girdle. Run through your vinyasa or lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat, inhaling for a low cobra or upward facing dog, pressing back and down. Lift those heels into the air and downward facing dog. Exhale, bring them back down to the. Again, from here, you can nod your head yes, you can shake your head no, you can. Yeah. See if you can micro movement, tilt and tuck your tailbone. You feel any extra space in your hips if you can. On your next exhale, we're gonna hop or step forward, so you forward fold. On your next inhale, you can place your hands on your shins for a nice long flat back. Exhale to fold forward. And inhale to gently roll up to stand. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Feeling all four corners of the feet pressing into the ground. Arches are lifted so the knees aren't knocking together. We're going to inhale the arms into the air for Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale to fold forward, plant your hands. On your inhale, place your hands on your shins for a nice long flat back. Exhale to fold forward, plant your hands, step back to plank pose. Pressing the ground away from you, pushing out of your shoulder girdle. Run through your vinyasa or lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat, inhaling for a low cobra or upward facing dog. Pressing back, down. Breathing in downward facing dog. You inhale those heels into the air. You exhale to drag them back down to the mat. On your next exhale, can you hop or step forward to a forward fold at the front of the mat. On your next inhale, place your hands on your shins for a nice long flat back. Exhale to fold forward. And on your next inhale, we're going to gently roll up to stand. Standing in mountain pose. Shaking out your knees, shaking out your hips. Exhaling your arms down to either side. You're going to inhale the arms above you for Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, hands on chins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands, step back to plank pose. Again, pressing the ground away from you. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra or upward facing dog. Right leg. Pressing back to go down dog. Inhaling the heels into the air here. Exhaling the back down to the mat. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward to a forward fold at the front of the mat. On your next inhale, place hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, gently roll up to stand. Great. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Go ahead and lift the arms into the air for Urdhva Hastasana. On your exhale, we're going to bend the knees. Go ahead and tuck that tailbone under and bring the arms forward for chair pose. Take one giant breath in chair, and then exhale to fold forward. Plant your hands, step back. We'll run through your vinyasa, lowering your knees, chest and chin. That inhaling for a low cobra, upward facing dog. And pressing back to a down dog. Breathing in downward facing dog. We're going to lift the right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knee, open up your hips. From here, check in with that left heel, bring it down to the mat. On your next exhale, we're going to bring that foot forward, help it if you need to. We're going to come into a nice sturdy low lunge. Here we're going to rotate that back heel down. Check in with that front knee, get as close to a right angle as possible. Then we're going to press the ground away and lift that head, neck, and chest off the leg. Hips are square to the front of the room. Arms are in the air for warrior one. Breathing in warrior one. On your next exhale, we'll bring the hands behind you, interlace your fingers back behind your back. Don't bring your shoulder down to your knee. For humble warrior. Pressing into the bottoms of both of their feet. Your next inhale, we're going to press back into our warrior one. On your exhale, we're going to press out into warrior two. Check in with that front knee. On your next inhale, bring the palm forward and then back to reverse your warrior. On your next inhale, we'll straighten up that front knee. And on your exhale, we'll bring ourselves forward and downward triangle. Reaching each arm in either direction. From here, we'll go ahead and bend that front knee. Bring your forearm to your thigh, come into side angle pose. From here, we're gonna windmill the arms down, so we're in our wide-legged forward fold at the front of the mat. From here, you can work on those micro movements, tilting and tucking the pelvis, seeing how different it feels when the feet are together or apart. And when you'd like to come to stillness, you can walk those fingertips back behind you, yourself a little bit deeper of a stretch. We'll walk those fingertips back to that front foot. Come into your low lunge. We'll pick that front foot back to meet the back. Coming into plank pose. And run through your vinyasa or lower your knees. Chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra or upward facing dog. And press back into a down. Excuse me. Taking a breath in downward facing dog. Checking in with the back of your neck. Nod your head yes, you can shake your head no, you can move your head out. Checking in with those heels, inhaling them into the air, then exhaling, dragging them back down. On your next inhale, we'll lift the left leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knees, swing that foot forward, help it if you need to. We're gonna rotate that back heel down, come into a nice sturdy low lunge. Pressing the ground away from you, we're gonna lift the head, neck, and chest off the mat. Lifting those arms into the air, coming into a warrior one. On your next exhale, we're gonna release the hands down. You can interlace your hands behind your back, or your thumb on top this time. Exhale your shoulder down to your knee. Come into You're releasing any tension in your neck and your glutes. Legs. On your next exhale, you can come back to your warrior one, lifting the arms into the air. Nice deep breath here. And we'll exhale into warrior two, bringing your arms out to either side. Rotating the hips out to the side of. Your next inhale, we'll bring that palm forward, then back in space, reverse your. Your next inhale, you can straighten out that front leg, reach forward and down in space. We'll come into triangle pose. On your next exhale, come back into your warrior two, and then bring your forearm down for side. On your next exhale, you can rotate your arms down so you're in your wide-legged forward fold on the side of the mat again. Then we're going to heel toe the feet together and come into any kind of squat you want. Your legs can be far apart, they can be close together, your feet could be completely on the mat, their heels can be in the air. We're just going to press those knees away with the elbow. Press the palms together. On your next exhale, you can reach your palms down to the mat, push that bum into the air, make your way back over to the mat, come into a plank pose. From your plank pose, you can lower your knees, chest, and chin, or go into your vinyasa. Coming up to low cobra or upward facing dog, pressing back to a down. Breathing in down dog, checking in back of your neck, checking in back of your legs. Inhaling those heels into the air, exhaling them back down to the mat. Nice big inhale here. And on your exhale, you can hop or step forward to a forward fold at the front of the mat. On your next inhale, you can gently roll up to a standing pose. Taking a mountain pose. Give your hips a little shake out, give your knees a little shake out. Take a drink of water if you'd like. And then stand in mountain pose at the front of the mat. You can heel toe your feet together if you'd like before you come into chair pose. And we'll inhale the arms up for Urdhva. Bend the knees and bring the bum down for chair pose. Breathing in chair here. Can you exhale your hands to heart center? Then bring your right elbow on the outside of your left knee and come into a chair pose twist. Making sure your knees aren't knocking together, even if your feet are together. On your next inhale, you come back to chair pose and exhale down to the opposite side. On your next inhale, we'll go ahead and let's press for a little bit more here. Okay, inhale back to center, and then exhale to fold forward. Plant your hands, or you can step back to plank pose. You're ready, you can lower your knees, chest and chin, come into your vinyasa. Looking forward to an upward facing dog or cobra, and exhaling back. Down dog. Breathing in downward facing dog. Gonna raise the right leg up for three-legged dog. Exhale, bend your knee. Bring your foot forward, help if you need to. And rotate the back heel down for a nice sturdy low lunge. From here, we're gonna bring the arms up for warrior one. Exhale down to reverse your warrior. I'm sorry, humble warrior. Inhale up for a warrior one. Exhale out for a warrior two. Inhale forward and back to reverse your warrior. Give that knee a rest, forward and down for triangle. Bending your knee, forearm to knee, reaching your arm over for a side angle pose. Windmilling the arms down, so you're in your wide-legged forward fold on the side of the mat. You can walk your fingertips behind you if that's available to you. You can walk your fingertips back. From here, we're just gonna bend one knee and then the other. You can bend your knees nice and shallowly. You can bend your knees nice and deeply. I'm going to target those inner thigh muscles. Maybe pulling from the knee here. Whatever you can do to activate those. Gently going from side to side. When you've had enough of that, you'll come to stillness. You can walk your fingers to the front. To frame that front foot, kick that front foot back to meet the back for a downward facing dog, plank pose. When you're ready, you can run through your vinyasa, lower your knees, chin to the back, and feeling for a low cobra or upward facing dog. Pressing back to a down. Nice deep breath and downward facing dog. On your next inhale, we'll lift the left leg in the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knees, swing that foot forward Help it if you need to. We're gonna rotate that back heel down. Pressing the ground away from you with your feet, we're gonna lift that head, neck, and chest off the leg. Bringing the arms up for warrior one. Exhaling the hands behind you, weird thumb on top this time, coming down. Humble. On your next inhale, coming back up to warrior one. You're gonna exhale out to warrior two. Giving that knee a nice rest, coming forward and down for triangle. On your next inhale, bending that front knee again, bringing your forearm to the thigh, coming into side angle. On your next exhale, you can windmill your arms down, frame that front foot, get that front foot back to meet the back. So you're in a plank pose. Lower your knees, chest, and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra or upward facing dog. Press back to a down dog. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward to a forward face, or sorry, they're in a forward fold at the front of the mat. On your next inhale, you can gently roll up to stand. So standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Okay. We'll come into some balancing poses. I'm gonna come into tree pose. So you're gonna wake at the bottoms of the feet if they're not awake already. A little snack. Work out all four corners of the foot, pressing it into the mat. We can kickstand that heel against the ankle. Press your foot against your calf, or bring that heel into the inner thigh. Hands can be at heart center on your hips, or branches blowing in the breeze. Find a stationary point to stare at, and it should help you balance. When you're ready, you can remove that foot from your leg. You can rotate that knee to the front. Release your foot forward, bring your foot a little higher, and then let it down. Maybe give a massage to that outer muscle of that standing leg. Then we'll place the other foot onto the mat, placing all four corners, not falling into that arch, but feeling lifted in the arch. We can kickstand that heel to the ankle, place the foot against the calf, or reach the heel to the inner thigh. As long as your foot is not touching your knee, you're good. Hands can be at heart center on your hips or branches blowing in the breeze, whichever you prefer. And if you have a hard time balancing, you can always find a stationary point to stare at, and that should help you. Not me. I'm not stationary. When you're ready, you can remove that foot from your leg, bring that knee forward, extend the leg, bring a foot a little higher, maybe a little higher, and then let it go. And rotate that outer muscle of that standing leg. Give your knees a little shake out, give your ankles a little shake out, and we'll return to mountain pose at the front of the mat. Your next inhale, let's lift the arms into the air for Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold forward. Plant your hands and we'll step back to plank pose. And through your vinyasa, lower your knees, chest, and chin to the mat. Inhale for a little cobra or upward facing dog and press them back into the down dog. On your next inhale, we're gonna lift the right leg into the air for a three-legged dog. Check in with that left heel, bring it down to the mat if you can. Exhale to bend that right leg, open up the hips. Then from here, we're gonna swing that foot forward and come into lizard pose. So over hand, foot. We're gonna keep that back leg up. Keep that knee nice and strong. Pressing the ground away from you with your hands, pressing out of that shoulder girdle. Releasing any tension in your jaw, releasing any tension in your glute. Your next inhale, we're gonna go ahead and activate that low belly. Actually bring that leg back into the air for three-legged dog. You're gonna exhale, open up the hips again, and then bring that shin forward for a pigeon pose. Making sure that back leg is stick straight behind you. You're gonna inhale the chest into the air and exhale to go forward. Breathing here. Inhale to lift your hip and chest off the mat. Make your way into a tabletop pose. Your hips will shoot up here. Tuck those toes under into your downward facing dog. Last vinyasa, vinyasa optional always. Roll forward to plank, run through your vinyasa or lower your knees. Chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for upward facing. Pressing back to it. Breathing in downward facing dog. We're gonna lift that left leg into the air for a three-legged dog. Check in with that right heel. Bend the knee, open up the hips. On your exhale, we're gonna bring that foot forward for a lizard pose. So we're hand, foot. Gonna keep that knee nice and straight, pressing the mat away from you with your hands and with the bottom of your feet. Ball of your foot. Here, we're gonna activate that low belly, kick that foot back up toward three-legged dog, bend the knee again, this time swing that shin forward for pigeon pose. Make sure that one leg is stick straight back behind you. Opening up your hips here. Inhaling your chest up and then exhaling down for pigeon. Inhale, you can lift your head, neck, chest off the mat. You make your way into your tabletop pose. Your hips will shake out if you'd like. Push the ground away, tuck those toes under, come into your plank pose. When you're ready, you can lower down in one moment. You can roll onto your back. And we'll go ahead and start just by windshield wipering the knees back and forth. When you're ready to come to stillness, we're going to take that right ankle and bring it onto the left knee. And bring that left leg up in space. We're going to flex both feet. We're going to interlace your hands behind the back of that left knee and press that right leg away from you with your right elbow. If you're happy here, you can stay. If you'd like to, you can rock back and forth, rotate, pull that leg a little closer to you. Find a spot that's maybe a little bit sore, maybe a little bit stuck, maybe that needs a little bit more attention. See if you can send your oxygen in. On your next exhale, you can release your hands, release your foot from your ankle. You can windmill those, windshield wiper those knees back. Here we're going to place your foot onto the mat, right foot onto the mat. We'll bring the left ankle to the right knee. Flex both feet as you bring that right leg into the air. And release your hands behind your right leg and press that left elbow away from, or left knee away from you with your left elbow. If you're happy here, you can stay. If not, you can rock back and forth or roll around, or bring that leg closer to you. Find a spot that's a little sore, a little bit more stuck, but maybe needs a little bit more attention. Your next exhale, you can release your hands, you can release your foot. You can windshield wiper those knees out, back and forth again. When you're ready, we are going to come into a bridge pose. Come into a supported bridge by placing a block underneath your sacrum. Or you can start by just tilting and tucking that tailbone a few times. Then we'll tilt that tailbone under, lift the hips into the air and come into a bridge pose. Option to interlace the hands behind the back. Breathing here. 3 to 5 good breaths. Release your hands, release your spine back down to the mat. You can windshield wiper your knees back and forth. And when you're ready, you can tuck that tailbone under again, lift the hips into the air and come to your second active bridge pose. Option to interlace the hands behind the back. 3 to 5 good breaths. Next exhale, you can release your hands, release your spine back down to the mat. You can windshield wiper your knees back. And when you're ready to come to stillness, you can tilt that tailbone under and lift your hips up for your third active bridge pose. Option to interlace your hands back behind your back. And get 3 to 5 good breaths. On your next exhale, you can release your hands, release your spine back down to the mat. You can windshield wiper your knees back and forth. When you're ready, you can hug those knees into your chest, nice and tight. From here, you can rock back and forth, sway to and fro. You can make circles with your knees, giving yourself a nice low back massage. Make sure you go in both directions with your circle. You're ready, we're going to drop to one side and come into a gentle twist. Your hands can be on your knees, it can be straight out to either side, or they can be arching cactus arms, whichever you're most comfortable with. Imagine I have a giant hook and I'm pulling on your top hip, pulling it down in space. Next inhale, you come back to center. Hug those knees into your chest. You're gonna drop the left leg down. Hold that right leg knee into your chest, nice and tight. You're gonna grab the left leg on the right ankle and just kind of rotate that leg in the thigh socket. So it's about at a 45-degree angle relative to the body, the shin ends. If you're happy here, maybe you feel a nice stretch in your inner thigh. Stay. If you'd like to bring the leg a little closer, you can always take that left hand underneath or on the outside of the foot rather, and pull that leg a little closer. Make sure you're not holding any tension in your glutes here. When you're ready, you can release that left hand from your leg. You're gonna place it back on top of the shin. We're gonna reach for the outer edge of the foot or the leg or the knee, whatever you want with the right hand. We're just gonna extend that leg out to the right side. Your knee can be bent as much as you want here. You can actually bring the knee all the way bent. You can extend it as much as you like. You can extend it longer and bring your leg, hand up your leg if you like. Just reaching that leg out to the side. We're gonna bring that leg across the body, swap your hands, drag that foot over to the opposite side of the body. Your hips are still on the mat here. On your next exhale, you can pass that foot back to the same hand as leg, and gently bring that foot back down to the mat. Release your leg to the side, maybe give your ankles a little shake back and forth. We'll hug both knees into the chest again, nice and tight. This time we'll drop the legs to the opposite side. Your hands can be on your knees, they can be extended out to either side, or cartoon cactus arm, whatever you're most comfortable with. Imagine I have a hook and I'm pulling your sit bone down towards the bottom corner of your yoga mat. Next, inhale, you can come back to center, hug both of your legs into your chest, nice and tight. So we'll send the right leg down. I'm so sorry, Trey, but I'm interrupting your nap. Holding that knee into your chest, nice and tight. If you're happy here, you can stay. If not, you can grab that right hand on the outside of that ankle. And just rotate that leg so your shin's at a 45-degree angle relative to the body. Release any tension in your glutes here. Release your right hand from your leg. You can bring your left hand to your leg, whatever's most comfortable with for you. On the outside, just bring that left leg out to the side. Keep your knee bent. You can straight. You can grab your foot, your ankle, your thigh, your knee, whatever you like. And on your next exhale, you can pass your foot to your other hand. Reach that foot across your leg, keeping both hips glued to the mat. Feeling space around your sit bones, maybe here. Release that foot, bring it back to center, bring both of your knees in nice and tight, maybe rock back and forth. Do a low back massage by rotating your knees in a circle. From here, we're gonna come into a gentle inversion. That can mean whatever it means to you. It's wonderful. You can do legs up the wall. You can bring a block to your sacrum and push your legs in the air. Do a shoulder supported mix. You can do a supported shoulder stand by putting your hands on your back and lifting your body into the air. Bringing your feet above your heart. Flex your feet and point your toes here. You can gently lower your feet back down to the mat. Move any prompts you make. We're gonna go ahead and lift the legs into the air. Grab the outer edges of the feet. And we're gonna come into a happy baby. Gonna work on your micro movements of tilting your tailbone here. Maybe they're mini micro movements. You can rock back and forth. That feels available to you. You can practice reaching either leg out to the side, maybe straightening the knees as much as possible. You can just hang out here, trying to feel like a baby, grabbing the feet, imagining or a baby, rocking back and forth, big and light, checking out the feet. So new, so cool. Feel like you've gotten all you can out of your happy baby. Release your feet from your hands and release your legs down the mat. Release your hands to either side. You can come into your final resting pose. Letting all your hard work sink into your muscles and your bones. Start to bring your awareness back to your breath. Make small movements in your fingers and toes. Roll onto one side using your arms and below. Take one breath from a fetal position. Then using that same slow quality up to a comfortable seat. Bring your hands to heart center and we'll close with Om. Inhaling from Om.